Hey guys, Dobby back at you with another story. Here's a chilling alien encounter story drawn from one of the most infamous and terrifying real world claims, the Travis Walton abduction, which happened in November 5th, 1975 in Arizona. It's often called one of the scariest because multiple witnesses saw the initial event. In Walton's own recollections under the circumstances are deeply unsettling. Travis Walton was a 22-year-old logger working with a crew of 6 other men in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. They were finishing up for the day when, around 6 p.m., they spotted a strange glowing object hovering above the trees in a clearing. It was metallic, disc-shaped, and silent, about 15 to 20 feet across, with a domed top and yellowish-orange glow underneath. The crew's truck driver slowed down. Most of the men were freaked out and wanted to leave, but Travis, curious or maybe a bit reckless, jumped out of the truck and walked towards it. As he got a bit closer, a brilliant blue-green beam shot out from the bottom of the craft and struck him square in the chest. The impact was being hit by a truck. He was thrown backwards about 10 feet, arms flailing, and landed limp on the ground. The other loggers panicked. They thought he was dead or worse. The driver floored it to get away, convinced the thing was hostile. They drove a short distance, then felt guilty and turned back to help. But when they returned less than a minute later, Travis was gone. A craft had vanished too. No body, no sign of him. Just empty forest floor. The crew reported it to the police immediately. Search parties combed the area for days. Rumors flew. Murder, cover-up by the crew. Hoax, government experiment. The men even took polygraphs. Most passed, though one was inconclusive. Authorities treated it like a potential homicide. Then 5 days later, November 10th, Travis reappeared. He stumbled out near a highway about 15 miles from the site, disoriented, dehydrated, and terrified. He called his brother from a payphone, babbling incoherently at first. When family and authorities got to him, he described waking up inside what felt like a sterile, curved room with metallic walls and soft, diffused light. No windows. He was lying on the table like surface, naked except for his clothes nearby. 3 small figures were standing over him, short, about 4 to 5 feet, bald, gray-skinned, huge black eyes, no visible ears or nose, thin limbs, the classic grays. They wore tight-fitting suits. Travis freaked out, grabbed a glass-like object from nearby, maybe a tool, and swung it wildly to keep them back. He described their movements as unnaturally fluid and precise, almost insect-like. One of the beings reached toward him with long fingers. Travis bolted down a hallway. He entered another room where 3 taller, more human-looking figures in helmets waited. They looked almost like people, but with odd proportions and blank expressions. One placed a clear mask over his face, something like plastic or glass, and he blacked out again. His next memory, waking up on the cold ground at night, the dish-shaped craft hovering above him, glowing. It shot upward silently and vanished. He had no idea 5 days had passed. To him, it felt like hours at most. Travis later said the worst part wasn't the exam or the beatings, it was complete helplessness. No one spoke, they just observed him like a specimen. He felt stripped out of all control, reduced to something less than human. Even decades later, he described reoccurring nightmares of these black eyes staring, unblinking. The case remains one of the hardest to dismiss outright. 7 witnesses to the beam incident who stuck to their story for years, despite ridicule and job loss. No evidence of hoax, polygraphs mostly supportive, and Walton's consistent account through interviews, books, and the 1993 film Fire in the Sky, which dramatized the onboard scenes as especially horrific, even though he says the movie exaggerated some terror for effect. Whether you chalk it up to real extraterrestrials, a shared delusion, secret military tech, or something else entirely, the raw fear in the accounts, from the crew fleeing in terror to Travis waking up alone after missing days, makes it linger. Anybody ever hear of this encounter? I've seen a lot of the alien encounter stuff ever since I was a little kid, watching alien abduction stories and stuff. Name doesn't ring a bell. This is supposedly based on a true story. What do you think? Leave me some comments in the comment section below. And remember to like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.